Throughout history, Stoics have been revered for their mastery of human emotions and psychology. They understood that true power lies not in controlling others, but in mastering oneself. This deep understanding extended to their relationships with women, where they applied principles that made them irresistible and left women longing for their attention. In today's episode, we'll delve into the psychological tactics that only 1% of men know, tactics that make women obsess over them. If you're ready to unlock the secrets of female psychology and elevate your game, stay tuned. Don't forget to watch until the end, like, subscribe, comment, and share your own stories. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. Show her you're still living your life. One of the most compelling ways to make a woman obsess over you is to demonstrate that you're still living your life to the fullest, regardless of her presence. Women are naturally drawn to men who exhibit a strong sense of purpose, independence, and self-assurance. When you maintain your focus on your passions, nurture your social life, and stay committed to your personal goals, you send a powerful message: you are a man whose life is full and rich, and it doesn't solely revolve around her. This approach creates a sense of intrigue, mystery, and respect. Women don't want to be the entirety of a man's world, they want to be a part of it. By continuing to pursue your interests and passions, you establish yourself as someone who values his own life and ambitions. This not only enhances your desirability, but also piques her curiosity. She'll begin to wonder what occupies your time when she's not around, leading her to think about you more frequently and intensely. In relationships, it's all too easy to lose yourself and become overly focused on your partner. However, maintaining your individuality is crucial not only for your own well-being, but also for the health of the relationship. The Stoics, who mastered the art of self-control and personal growth, believed in living in accordance with one's true nature. They emphasized the importance of staying true to oneself, irrespective of external influences. By adhering to your own path and not sacrificing your goals for the sake of the relationship, you embody this principle. This steadfastness naturally draws women toward you, as they are innately attracted to men who are secure in their identity and purpose. When a woman sees that you're still living your life fully, she recognizes that you are not dependent on her for your happiness. This realization can be incredibly attractive, as it signals that you are a high-value man who doesn't require constant validation or reassurance. It also shifts the dynamic in your favor, placing you in a position of strength. She will begin to crave your attention and validation, knowing that it is not something you dispense lightly or out of desperation. Furthermore, by continuing to live your life with passion and purpose, you subtly communicate that you have options, that you are not bound to any one person or relationship. This nonchalance can be disarming and deeply intriguing to a woman. It challenges her to step up and prove herself worthy of your time and attention, as she realizes that you are a man who has many other fulfilling aspects of life. The key here is to strike a balance. While it's important to remain attentive and caring, it should never come at the cost of your own life and goals. By consistently showing that your life is full and fulfilling, you create a powerful psychological effect. She becomes more invested in wanting to be part of it. Women are drawn to men who have a strong sense of self, and by demonstrating that your life is complete with or without her, you increase your value in her eyes. Living your life fully doesn't mean ignoring her or being distant. It's about maintaining your own identity and not losing sight of what makes you, you. It's about continuing to pursue your hobbies, spending time with your friends, advancing in your career, and nurturing your personal growth. When you do this, you not only enhance your own happiness and fulfillment, but also create a magnetic aura that draws women toward you. Moreover, when a woman sees that you're still living your life, she understands that you are not someone who can be easily manipulated or controlled. This realization can lower her ego and make her more eager to win your affection and approval. She'll see you as a challenge, someone who is not easily swayed or influenced by her charms. This dynamic creates a sense of excitement and intrigue, as she realizes that being with you requires effort on her part. In the end, showing her that you're still living your life is about demonstrating that you are a man of substance, a man who has a clear sense of purpose and direction. It's about proving that you are not willing to sacrifice your own happiness and fulfillment for the sake of a relationship. This mindset not only makes you more attractive, but also ensures that the relationship, if it happens, is built on mutual respect and admiration. By continuing to live your life fully, you position yourself as a high-value man who is confident, self-assured, and not easily swayed by external factors. This approach will make her obsess over you, as she realizes that you are a man who is not only worth her time, but also someone she must work to win over. The more you live your life on your terms, the more she will want to be part of it, making her increasingly invested in you and the relationship. Chapter 2. Don't give in to the attention bait. In any relationship, the balance of power often hinges on who craves validation more. One of the most effective ways to keep a woman intrigued and even obsessed with you is to resist the temptation to give in to the attention bait she might throw your way. Women, consciously or not, often test men by seeking validation through various means, whether it's fishing for compliments, posting alluring photos, or seeking reassurance about how you feel. The moment you start chasing this bait, you tip the balance of power in her favor, which can diminish your appeal. The concept of attention bait is rooted in psychology. People, in general, desire affirmation and validation from those they care about, but women are often more adept at using subtle cues to draw this out from men. When you fall into the trap of constantly reassuring her or chasing after her approval, you inadvertently position yourself as the one seeking her validation. This behavior can make you appear needy or insecure, which is a significant turn-off. Instead, the key is to remain composed and maintain a sense of mystery. When you don't immediately respond to her attempts to get attention, you create an aura of intrigue. She'll start to wonder why you're not reacting the way she expects, which in turn makes her think about you more. This thought process can quickly lead to her obsessing over you, as she tries to figure out why you're not easily swayed by her charms. The Stoics were masters of emotional control, teaching that true strength comes from within and is not dependent on external validation. By embodying this principle, you can maintain your composure and not give in to the attention bait. When you refrain from constantly validating her, you communicate that your sense of self-worth is not dependent on her approval, which can be incredibly attractive. This approach also gives you the upper hand in the relationship. When you don't react predictably to her attempts at garnering attention, you shift the dynamic in your favor. She'll begin to see you as someone who is confident, self-assured, and not easily influenced. This unpredictability can make you more desirable because it challenges her to step up and work harder to earn your attention. However, it's important to strike a balance. You don't want to come across as completely indifferent or cold, as this can push her away. The goal is to maintain a steady, calm demeanor that shows you're in control of your emotions and that you're not easily swayed by her attempts to gain attention. By doing so, you not only keep her intrigued, but also demonstrate that you're a man of substance who values his own emotional well-being. In practice, this might mean not immediately responding to her texts, not always complimenting her when she seeks it, or simply being less available at times. These small actions can have a significant impact on how she perceives you. Over time, she'll start to respect and admire your ability to stay grounded and not be easily manipulated by her attention-seeking behavior. Moreover, by not giving in to the attention bait, you create a sense of scarcity. When your validation is not easily obtained, it becomes more valuable in her eyes. She'll start to crave your attention and work harder to get it, which can lead to her becoming more invested in you. This dynamic can make her obsess over you, as she constantly thinks about how to win your approval and keep you interested. Ultimately, the key to not giving in to the attention bait is to remain calm, composed, and self-assured. By doing so, you show that you are a man who is not easily swayed by external influences and that your sense of self-worth is firmly rooted within. This approach not only keeps her intrigued, but also establishes you as a high-value man who is worth pursuing. Chapter 3. Don't be eager, be vague. In the early stages of any relationship, it's natural to want to impress and connect with the other person. However, one of the most powerful ways to make a woman obsess over you is to avoid being overly eager. Eagerness can come across as desperation, which can be a major turn-off. Instead, embrace the power of being vague, keeping a little mystery and unpredictability in your interactions. When you're vague about your intentions, plans, or feelings, you create an aura of intrigue that can be incredibly attractive. Women are naturally curious, and when you don't lay all your cards on the table, she'll start to wonder what you're thinking, what you're doing, and where she stands with you. This uncertainty can make her think about you more often as she tries to figure out the puzzle you present. Being vague doesn't mean being aloof or disinterested, it's about maintaining a level of unpredictability. The Stoics believed in the power of self-control and not being overly attached to external outcomes. By embodying this principle, you can resist the urge to be overly forthcoming and instead focus on maintaining your composure and keeping some things to yourself. For example, if she asks about your plans, instead of giving her a detailed rundown, you might say something like, "I have a few things going on this weekend," without elaborating. Or if she seeks reassurance about your feelings, you can be honest without being overly expressive. "I enjoy spending time with you. Let's see where this goes." These responses keep the conversation open-ended and leave her wanting to know more. This approach also allows you to maintain control over the pace of the relationship. When you're not overly eager or forthcoming, you create a dynamic where she has to work to get closer to you. She'll start to invest more time and energy into the relationship, trying to figure out where she stands and what you're all about. This investment on her part can lead to her becoming more emotionally involved and even obsessed with you. However, it's important to balance being vague with showing genuine interest. You don't want to come across as completely uninterested or emotionally unavailable, as this can push her away. The key is to show enough interest to keep her engaged while still maintaining an air of mystery. This balance keeps her intrigued and keeps you in control of the dynamic. Being vague also allows you to protect your emotional well-being. By not revealing everything about yourself right away, you maintain a sense of privacy and control over your emotions. This can be empowering, as it ensures that you're not giving too much of yourself too soon and that you're maintaining a healthy boundary in the relationship. Moreover, when you're vague, you create opportunities for her to open up more. She may start to share more about herself in an effort to get you to do the same. This can lead to a deeper connection as she becomes more invested in the relationship. The more she invests, the more likely she is to think about you, wonder about you, and ultimately become obsessed with you. In summary, being vague is a powerful tool in creating intrigue and maintaining control in a relationship. By not being overly eager and keeping a little mystery in your interactions, you make her work to get closer to you. This dynamic not only keeps her interested, but also ensures that you remain in a position of strength, guiding the pace and direction of the relationship. Chapter 4. Don't contact her too often. One of the most common mistakes men make in relationships is overcommunication. While it's natural to want to stay in touch with someone you're interested in, contacting a woman too often can have the opposite effect of what you intend. Instead of making her feel closer to you, it can make her feel overwhelmed or even suffocated. To make a woman obsess over you, it's crucial to strike the right balance by not contacting her too frequently. The idea of not contacting her too often ties back to the concept of scarcity. People tend to value things that are rare or hard to obtain. When you're constantly available and always reaching out, you diminish the sense of scarcity, making your presence feel less special. On the other hand, when you space out your communications, it creates a sense of anticipation and longing. She'll start to wonder why you're not reaching out, what you're doing, and when she'll hear from you next. This curiosity can quickly turn into obsession as she thinks about you more and more. The Stoics emphasized the importance of self-discipline and not being swayed by emotions. By practicing restraint in how often you contact her, you demonstrate self-control and emotional maturity. This approach shows that you're not desperate for her attention and that you have a full, busy life outside of the relationship. It also sends the message that you're confident enough to let the relationship develop naturally without the need for constant reassurance. When you do reach out, make sure your communications are meaningful and engaging. Quality over quantity is key here. A well-thought-out message or a brief but interesting conversation will have a much greater impact than constant, mundane texts. By being selective in your communications, you make each interaction more significant and memorable. This strategy also gives her time to miss you. When you're not always in contact, she has the opportunity to reflect on your interactions, to think about you, and to wonder what you're up to. This absence can create a stronger emotional bond as she starts to associate the feelings of longing and anticipation with you. However, it's important to be mindful of how this approach is perceived. While you don't want to contact her too often, you also don't want to come across as disinterested or neglectful. The key is to find a balance that keeps her engaged without overwhelming her. This might mean waiting a day or two between texts or calls, or simply being less available during certain times of the day. The goal is to create a rhythm in your communications that keeps her intrigued and invested. Not contacting her too often also gives you the opportunity to maintain your independence and focus on your own life. When you're not constantly preoccupied with reaching out, you have more time to pursue your own interests, goals, and hobbies. This not only makes you a more well-rounded and interesting person, but also adds to your attractiveness. Women are often drawn to men who have their own lives and passions, as it signals confidence and self-sufficiency. In addition, by not contacting her too often, you give her the space to initiate contact herself. When she reaches out to you, it's a sign that she's thinking about you and wants to connect. This role reversal can be empowering for her and can make her feel more invested in the relationship. It also helps to create a dynamic where she's not just passively receiving attention, but is actively seeking it out, which can deepen her emotional attachment to you. Ultimately, the key to making a woman obsess over you is to create a sense of balance in your communications. By not contacting her too often, you create a sense of scarcity and anticipation that keeps her thinking about you. This approach, combined with meaningful interactions when you do communicate, ensures that you remain a significant presence in her life without overwhelming her. Chapter 5. Don't be too available. Availability plays a significant role in the dynamics of attraction. While it's important to show interest in someone you're pursuing, being too available can quickly diminish your value in her eyes. If you want to make a woman obsess over you, it's crucial to strike a balance between being present and maintaining a level of scarcity. When you're always available, whether it's to hang out, talk on the phone, or respond to texts, you inadvertently communicate that you have little else going on in your life. This can make you appear less desirable, as women are often drawn to men who have full, busy lives and are selective about how they spend their time. On the other hand, when you're not always available, you create a sense of mystery and intrigue, making her wonder what you're up to and why you're not always at her beck and call. The concept of scarcity is powerful in human psychology. When something is readily available, it's often taken for granted. However, when something is scarce, it becomes more valuable and desirable. By not always being available, you create a sense of scarcity around your presence, which can make her value and desire your time and attention more. The Stoics believed in the importance of self-discipline and not being overly attached to external factors. By practicing restraint in your availability, you demonstrate that you are in control of your time and that you value yourself. This self-respect is attractive and can make her see you as a high-value man who is worth pursuing. One way to manage your availability is by setting boundaries and sticking to them. For example, you might decide that you won't always be available to hang out at the last minute or that you won't respond to texts immediately. These small actions can have a significant impact on how she perceives you. When she realizes that you're not always going to drop everything to be with her, she'll start to see you as someone who has a life of your own, which can make you more attractive in her eyes. It's also important to be mindful of how you spend your time when you're not with her. By pursuing your own interests, hobbies, and goals, you not only become a more well-rounded and interesting person, but you also create a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction in your life. This fulfillment can radiate confidence and contentment, which are highly attractive qualities. However, being less available doesn't mean being aloof or disinterested. The key is to balance your availability in a way that keeps her engaged without making her feel neglected. When you do spend time with her, make sure it's meaningful and enjoyable. This will ensure that she looks forward to your time together and values it even more. Another aspect of not being too available is avoiding the tendency to always say yes to her requests or demands. While it's important to be supportive and accommodating, it's equally important to stand your ground and assert your own needs and boundaries. By doing so, you show that you respect yourself and that you're not willing to compromise your values or priorities just to please her. Moreover, when you're not always available, you create opportunities for her to miss you. Absence, as the saying goes, makes the heart grow fonder. When you're not constantly in her presence, she has time to reflect on your interactions and to anticipate the next time she'll see you. This anticipation can heighten her feelings for you and make her think about you more often, leading to an increased emotional attachment. In conclusion, being too available can diminish your value in a woman's eyes, while maintaining a level of scarcity can make you more desirable. By setting boundaries, pursuing your own interests, and being selective about your availability, you create a dynamic where she values your time and attention more. This approach not only keeps her interested, but also ensures that you maintain control over your own life and happiness. Chapter 6. Make her invest in you. A critical yet often overlooked aspect of making a woman obsess over you is getting her to invest in you. When a woman starts to invest her time, energy, and emotions into you, she naturally becomes more attached and committed. This principle is rooted in psychology, where the more effort someone puts into something, the more they value it. By encouraging her to invest in you, you make her more likely to develop deeper feelings and a stronger attachment. Getting her to invest in you doesn't mean manipulating her into doing things for you. Instead, it's about creating opportunities for her to contribute to the relationship in meaningful ways. This could be as simple as asking for her opinion on something important to you, involving her in your hobbies, or even getting her to help you with a project. When she feels like she's adding value to your life, she'll start to see the relationship as something worth nurturing. One way to encourage her to invest in you is by being slightly less available. When you're always at her beck and call, she doesn't have to put in much effort to keep you around. However, when you're a bit more elusive, whether that's by having a busy schedule, pursuing your own interests, or simply not always being the first to initiate contact, she'll have to work a little harder to keep the connection strong. This effort on her part increases her emotional investment in you. Another strategy is to create situations where she feels needed. For example, if you're planning a trip or a big event, ask for her input or help with the arrangements. This gives her a sense of responsibility and involvement, making her more invested in the outcome. It also signals that you value her contributions, which can deepen her emotional connection to you. It's also important to reciprocate her investment. When she does something for you, make sure to acknowledge and appreciate it. This positive reinforcement encourages her to continue investing in the relationship. However, be careful not to overdo it. The goal is to create a balance where both of you are contributing equally, without either party feeling overwhelmed or taken for granted. Additionally, you can encourage her to invest in you emotionally by being open and vulnerable at times. Share your thoughts, dreams, and fears with her, and allow her to do the same. This kind of emotional investment is powerful because it builds trust and intimacy. When she feels like she knows the real you and that you trust her enough to let her in, she's more likely to become emotionally attached. However, it's important to avoid being too needy or reliant on her. The key is to strike a balance where she feels valued and needed, but not overwhelmed by the demands of the relationship. By maintaining your independence and continuing to pursue your own goals, you show her that you're a strong, self-sufficient man who values her contributions but doesn't depend on them for his happiness. Another effective way to get her to invest in you is by making her feel like she's part of your future. Talk about your goals and ambitions and involve her in your plans. This could be as simple as discussing future trips, projects, or even more significant life decisions. When she sees herself as part of your future, she's more likely to invest in the relationship and work towards building a life together. Moreover, physical investment is just as important as emotional investment. Encourage her to spend time with you, whether it's through shared activities, date nights, or even simple things like cooking together. The more time she spends with you, the more invested she becomes. This time together strengthens the bond and makes her more likely to see you as someone she wants to be with long term. Finally, remember that making her invest in you is not about playing games or manipulating her emotions. It's about creating a healthy, balanced relationship where both of you contribute equally and feel valued. By encouraging her to invest in you, you build a deeper connection that's based on mutual respect, trust, and emotional engagement. In conclusion, getting a woman to invest in you is a powerful way to make her obsess over you. By creating opportunities for her to contribute to the relationship, both emotionally and physically, you deepen her attachment and make her see the relationship as something worth nurturing. This mutual investment not only strengthens the bond between you but also makes her more committed to making the relationship work. Chapter 7. Stay mysterious. Mystery is one of the most powerful tools in the art of attraction. When you remain mysterious, you create a sense of intrigue and curiosity that keeps a woman thinking about you long after you've left the room. The allure of the unknown is irresistible, and by staying mysterious, you make her obsess over wanting to know more about you. Staying mysterious doesn't mean being secretive or playing hard to get in a manipulative way. Instead, it's about revealing just enough to keep her interested while leaving her wanting more. This creates a dynamic where she's constantly trying to figure you out, which keeps you on her mind and makes her more invested in the relationship. One way to stay mysterious is by not revealing everything about yourself all at once. When you meet someone new, it's natural to want to share your life story, but it's important to hold back a little. Share interesting and important details about your life, but save some things for later. This creates a sense of anticipation and gives her something to look forward to as she gets to know you better. Another aspect of staying mysterious is being unpredictable. When you're too predictable, you become less interesting because she knows exactly what to expect from you. By mixing things up, whether it's the way you communicate, the activities you suggest, or the way you express your feelings, you keep her on her toes. This unpredictability can be exciting and make her more eager to spend time with you. Your actions can also play a role in maintaining mystery. For example, if you're always open about your thoughts and feelings, there's nothing left for her to wonder about. But if you occasionally hold back or give a more enigmatic response, it makes her curious about what you're really thinking. This curiosity can drive her to want to spend more time with you in hopes of unraveling the mystery. Mystery can also be cultivated through your lifestyle. If you're constantly trying new things, exploring different interests, or traveling to new places, you naturally become more intriguing. She'll start to see you as someone who is adventurous and full of surprises, which can make her want to be part of your exciting world. However, it's important to balance mystery with authenticity. While it's great to keep her guessing, you don't want to come off as insincere or distant. The key is to be genuine in your interactions while still maintaining an element of unpredictability. This combination of authenticity and mystery is incredibly attractive because it makes you seem both real and complex. Mystery also extends to how you handle communication. For example, instead of always being the first to text or call, sometimes wait for her to reach out to you. This creates a sense of anticipation and makes her wonder what you're up to. When you do communicate, be engaging, but don't reveal everything about your day or your thoughts. Leave a little bit of mystery for her to ponder. Your social media presence can also be a tool for cultivating mystery. Instead of posting everything about your life, share only selective highlights. This not only makes you more intriguing, but also prevents her from feeling like she knows everything about you without having to put in the effort to get to know you personally. Lastly, staying mysterious involves being comfortable with silence. You don't always have to fill every moment with conversation or activity. Sometimes, just being together without saying much can create a powerful sense of connection. This silent communication can be just as impactful as words, as it allows her to feel your presence without needing constant validation. In conclusion, staying mysterious is a powerful way to make a woman obsess over you. By revealing just enough to keep her interested while leaving her wanting more, you create a sense of intrigue and excitement that makes you unforgettable. This mystery not only keeps her thinking about you, but also deepens her emotional investment as she becomes more determined to uncover the layers of your personality. Ultimately, it's this balance of mystery and authenticity that will make her want to be part of your life and keep her coming back for more. As we wrap up this deep dive into the psychology of attraction, it's crucial to remember that the art of making a woman obsess over you is not about manipulation or playing games. It's about understanding and mastering the subtle dynamics that naturally draw people closer together. The principles we've explored today, from living your own life and not giving in to attention bait, to making her invest in you and staying mysterious, are all about building genuine connections based on respect, intrigue, and mutual investment. The Stoics, in their wisdom, understood the importance of self-mastery and living a life of purpose. They believed that true power lies not in controlling others, but in controlling oneself. By embodying these principles, you not only become more attractive to women, but you also become a stronger, more confident version of yourself, someone who is naturally magnetic because he is grounded in his own values and purpose. So, as you apply these strategies, do so with integrity and respect. Remember, the goal is to build lasting connections that are meaningful and fulfilling for both of you. When you focus on being the best version of yourself, you won't just make her obsess over you, you'll also create a relationship that is built on mutual admiration, trust, and genuine attraction. If you found value in today's episode, make sure to watch until the end of future videos, as we'll continue exploring topics that can help you navigate the complex world of relationships with confidence and wisdom. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below with your own stories or insights. Share this video with anyone who might benefit from it, and as always, keep striving to be the best you can be, and not just for others, but for yourself. Until next time, stay strong, stay confident, and continue mastering the art of living.